I don't know what's going on. Ah, 1 star already. I'm rooting for all the monsters. Man-eating spiders, get it together. You just can't trust uber religious people. Yay, the bastard died! When it's dealing with the actual people, I want them to shut the fuck up. Stop laying eggs. Stop it. I already hate him. Oh my god! I forgot how to vlog this already. Would you survive? No, I likely would have died. Ghosty, if you're in here, look, I'm listening to an audiobook right now. Hello everybody, and welcome to a reading vlog. This weekend, or starting in about 20 minutes, is the 72 Hours in a Haunted House Readathon. It starts 7 p.m. Eastern on February 16th, and I am in the mountain time zone, so we're starting at 5. I'm excited, I'm scared, because it's a haunted, no. We have 5 books that I am gonna attempt to read because Nina is making me do them. A while ago, Nina and I exchanged 5 books each in genres we don't read, and so I gave her 5 contemporaries, and she gave me 5 horrors, because I really don't read horror all that much. I'm just not a huge fan of the genre in general. I like happy things. Now granted, I am a spoopy bitch. So I do love spooky things. I love Halloween. I love, you know, ghosty movies and stuff, but certain horror and reading horror is just, it's never been my genre. It's never been what I gravitate towards. So we're gonna see if these 5 books that Nina has given me will be good. Now, granted, the readathon is made with some wheels, some spinner wheels. There's a horror wheel and a thriller wheel, and you choose 1 wheel per each day. However, I'm gonna stick to the horror just because I want to get all these books done. So we're gonna see if any of them actually work with whatever I spin. So we are gonna spin right now. Spinning the wheel. And cozy. What's a cozy horror? How would you define cozy horror? I don't know. I don't think any of the books that I've gotten are necessarily cozy. However, I will be cozy while reading them, because look what I did. I made a blanket for it. I made it spooky. I brought my spooky stuff. We have a go away I'm reading here. And we've got a full fort under here filled with stuff. I haven't lit up anything because I'm not in there. I'll show you when I'm actually in here. But I made a fort, so I'm gonna be cozy as hell. And I'm gonna live here for the weekend. Yes, I brought out my entire mattress from my bed for this. But I have a Mambo temp cage. I have her stuff here. And here's the baby who's trying to lay an egg. Are you good? Did you lay your egg? Because you just came out. Did you lay it? I know you're trying to. No egg yet. No egg yet, but she's definitely trying to lay one today. It's probably going to happen today. If not, then tomorrow. So I might need to consult others on which of these books is the coziest, because we have 14 by Peter Clines, which I'm gonna have to read on ebook. We have the Haunted Forest Tour, which just dropped in Scribd, so I can do that, as well as The Hatching by Ezekiel Boone. Then we have Devolution by Max Brooks. I have this on hold, so I can't do it yet. I'm a little scared that it won't drop in time for this readathon. I've had it on hold for weeks now, and it still says 2 weeks. So whoever has it right now, get done. Give it up. Give it to me. And then we have 100 Fathoms Below, which I have a physical copy of. I don't know if any of those are cozy. I don't know, is Haunted Forest Tour probably maybe the coziest? Because it looks cute. I don't know. I'm gonna consult. If anything, I'll respin. But those are the books that I'm going to read. I also, if by some chance get those done, I will also do Don't Tell a Soul by Lindsay Miller, which is like a paranormal mystery thriller horror. I'm not actually sure of the genre, but that's on the official TBR. The downside of this whole thing is I just started reading Angels Before Man, and I am not far at all, which means, and I have to put it down in order to do this. So I'm gonna spend the next 15 minutes just reading as much of that as I can before it officially begins. And we're gonna make some dinner, and then we're gonna get cozy in a blanket fort for the weekend. Let's go. So we are making dinner. I'm gonna start making some pasta and, I don't know, kind of ziti, but not quite my usual ziti, just because I'm going off of what I have. And I don't have everything I normally would for ziti. Namely my fresh mozzarella and my basil. But we are browning some meat. I've decided the cozy is going to be the Haunted Forest Tour, which I have on audiobook. It's the one that released today on Scribd. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. But I've also got the late night cruise sprints are gonna start. I'm just gonna mute them for a second. It's by James A. Moore and Jeff Strand. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Haunted Forest Tour. Sit back and enjoy a smooth ride in air-conditioned comfort as your heavily armored tram takes you through nature's most astonishing creation. The forest is packed to capacity with dangerous and terrifying creatures of all shapes, sizes, and hunger levels. And you'll get to observe these wonders in complete safety. Howl with a werewolf, gaze into the glowing eyes of a giant spider, look right through a spooky ghost, see horrific monsters you couldn't even imagine, only inches away from you. Things with fangs, things with claws, things with dripping red jaws. You'll see them all. Not thrilling enough? Well, it's Halloween, and so we're offering a very special tour through the Haunted Forest. New route goes deeper into the woods than any civilians have ventured before, and you're guaranteed to get a good scare. Rest assured that every possible security precaution has been taken. The Haunted Forest Tour has a 100% safety record, and technical difficulties are unheard of. You will be in no danger whatsoever. We promise. I would say that's cozy. It seems fun and like a chill thing. Oh, they've started the first sprint already. So we are going to start listening to this while we cook and check back in a moment. Well, mine are paused. We have to pause making dinner because we got to go see my mom real quick. So that's paused. We have started. Really love the opening. Like, yes, this is horror. That was a crazy situation with a literal forest sprouting up out of nowhere. Yeah, it was crazy. Cool stuff. Really enjoying it already. Okay, we're back from going to see my mom real quick. We also ran and grabbed a couple groceries, so I can actually do my actual ZD now, which is great. We are, I guess, an hour-ish in to the Haunted Forest Tour because I listened to it while I was driving, and I've had some things happen I don't like. We have a variety of POVs. Most of them have been men, which is not the issue, but the issue is that the prominent male POVs we've had so far, I don't like them. They're kind of pervy. And it's like, I think they're made to be very unlikable. Like, one guy is literally cheating on his wife. Another one thinks about cheating on his wife with this other girl who he literally just can't focus because she's just so sexy, and it's very annoying. So predominantly for this first part of the book, it's been all male POVs. We have gotten 2 other female POVs so far. But one of them is just like, one of them is the tour guide, and she's like, I think we should do this. And I'm like, I don't know, there's not enough about them all yet to fully develop, but most of them are unlikable characters, and I'm kind of rooting for the monsters right now. But that's only an hour in. We'll see if that changes. I do like that there are real creepy things, like we're really getting into these horrific creatures already, right off the bat. It's kind of like a horrific Jurassic Park is what we're dealing with, like demonic Jurassic Park. Instead of dinosaurs, we get demons and monsters, which I do like. So I like that vibe. I just don't care about any of these characters yet. Hello, everybody. It is definitely bedtime. Welcome to underneath everything. I've got all my fun stuff, all my spookies, all here under my hovel, my little fort. It's very fun. I am now 61% done. I was hoping to finish this whole book today, but we got a lot of interruptions and distractions and things. Oh, welcome. Ian came over for a bit, so we ended up chatting for a good long while. So I have about just under 2 hours left to listen to Haunted Forest Tour. So we will finish that tomorrow while we work. Because we work. So I'm definitely liking it a lot less. It's really that first prologue was the best part of this. I just don't care about these characters. I'm rooting for all the monsters. I like the monsters. The monsters are excellent in this. I just hate the characters. So many of these male characters, like, there's so many times that we mention wanting to hook up with the girl characters. And none of the girl characters have, the ones that they are objectifying and stuff, actually really have full POVs. I don't think any of them have. I might have blocked some out, but none of the girls are like, oh, I want to bang the guy. So there's not like any mutual attraction or anything going on. It's just one-sided, the men objectifying the women. None of them actually do anything, which at least is good, but every time we are in their minds, there's always going to be several lines of these men just obsessed with the women in their lives, and half these men are already married and need to friggin' not. They just need to not. So that's annoying, but the encounters with all of the creatures are great. Love that. Just had this one with the kid and the gray man thing. Very nice. The demon, great. Love the demon. The demon's a great character. But a lot of the other stuff, when it's dealing with the actual people, I want them to shut the fuck up. And like, you should be really, really focused on surviving and getting out of this forest. And yet, this is the thought process you choose to think right now. Not a fan of that. So, right now we're at a 3. We're at a 3 for this, but excellent monster creation, terrible character creation. Good night. Good morning, everybody. It is 11 a.m. and I've been working. But while I've been working, I have been finishing the Haunted Forest tour, and I have just finished it. So this is the first of the 5 that we have finished, and I'm giving it 3 stars. I really loved the beginning. That opening scene was fantastic. The monsters in this are fantastic. I loved the creature creation in this. I hated the characters. There's not a single character I gave a damn about. They're all pretty terrible or not developed. All the men kind of suck. I think Christopher's probably the only one that minorly didn't totally suck. But all the other men just were constantly objectifying the women in their lives and cheating or thinking about cheating. And I just was like, this didn't feel necessary, other than like, is that the purpose of making them horrible people so that when they die we don't feel bad? Because as a writer, I think you should want to have your readers connect with them. As a writer, I'd want to like make a really good relationship with the readers and then kill them and then they're heartbroken and sad. But this does the opposite, where it's like, yay, the bastard died, you know. So it's a little bit of a different situation. But most of them I just didn't care about, and then when we did get a few women POVs, there wasn't anything significant enough about them that I cared, so they were just kind of one note. Yeah, I didn't really care, so about halfway through I was like, whatever. I just ended up not really caring about it. I was really rooting for the demons and the monsters to win. That's kind of what I wanted. Don't fly over there and chew on the wall. But yeah, not a great start. I really was thinking this was going to be my favorite of the 5 that Nina has made me read, and now I'm worried because the other 4 books, not entirely into their synopses. Maybe Devolution, but with Devolution I'm scared I'm gonna have to buy the ebook for it because it's still on hold on Libby. So I only have one other audiobook right now, which is The Hatching. But we need to spin that good old wheel. Oh God, what's it gonna be? Does it say haunted house? Haunted house. Which, of the 4, I think 14 might be the closest, because it is an apartment complex. I don't know what's going on, but it's something spooky in the apartment. So I'm gonna go with 14 next, which I think is also the biggest book on this. Is it the biggest one? 14 is the longest book, so I do have it as an ebook. I did have to pay for it, unfortunately. Ma'am, what did I say about chewing on the wall? We're gonna start with 14. Here is the synopsis. Padlocked doors, strange light fixtures, mutant cockroaches. There are some odd things about Nate's new apartment. Of course, he has other things on his mind. He hates his job, he has no money in the bank, no girlfriend, no plans for the future. So while his new home isn't perfect, it's livable. The rent is low, the property's managers are friendly, and the odd little mysteries don't nag at him too much. At least not until he meets Mandy, his neighbor across the hall, and notices something unusual about her apartment, and Zila's apartment, and Tim's, and Veek's, because every room in this old Los Angeles brownstone has a mystery or two. Mysteries that stretch back over 100 years. Some of them are in plain sight, some are behind locked doors, and altogether these mysteries could mean the end of Nate and his friends, or the end of everything. Don't know if it's haunted or not, but it's definitely spooky homestead, so I think that will qualify. Good morning, everybody. It is day 2 of the Readathon, and I didn't film anything else yesterday. I was kind of in the zone, I would say. We have a Mambo here who also laid an egg last night on stream. Great times. So I'm still reading 14. I was trying to finish it last night, but I just kept falling asleep. I'm honestly a little bored with it at this point, but we are on page 251 of 402, so I have about 150 pages left of it. So we're gonna try to finish that all right now. It's 9:45 a.m. and that's kind of a slow morning, so we're just going to try and see how fast I can finish this book, and then probably like get my act together. But it's Saturday and I don't care. I don't have to go anywhere, so if I end up in my pajamas and stuff all day, you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Do you care? You don't care. You just want to hang out on top of my head today. That's our goal. Just to chill. So we're gonna crawl back into the hovel. You ready to go in the fort and continue reading? But yeah, it's weird. Not really horror going on in this right now. There's a lot of mystery happening. So, some weird mystery happening. I'm honestly not sure if my brain has comprehended like the last 20-ish pages. Or the last 50-ish pages. I don't know. I definitely was having a struggle like focusing on the book last night, but it could have just been because I was really tired. So, we'll see. We will continue forward now. Hello all, it's almost 3. It has taken me so long to finish this book, but I have finished it. Finally did. I did take a little break for lunch and stuff. I have yet to like shower. We're gonna go shower now though, because I just feel gross. But I wanted to finish the book and I didn't think it would take me this long to get through it. I got very bored. It's so long and convoluted that it became a little bit boring. I don't like the beginning of this book. I think it over-sexualizes the female characters. There is casual racism from some of the characters towards others, especially the character of Mandy. I hate her character. She feels so unnecessary to this. I don't even know why she had a minor POV. The POV balance is also very weird in this. Like, we could have just had this all from Nate's point of view and it would have been much better that way. But we just had little glimpses into the other characters in the building. A little weird. Not a haunted thing. I know I pulled this for a haunted house, but I didn't know what it was going in. It's much more Lovecraftian, literally. And it's not as horrific, like, nowhere near as horrific as Haunted Forest Tour. I would peg this more as like a science fiction thriller. That's more, instead of calling it horror, in my opinion, but it is categorized as a horror. There were unanswered questions in this because there is talk of former tenant suicides, and that's never really addressed, like why, what drove them to that. That's not addressed. The cockroaches as well, like there's a little bit of a connection to it, but I don't know why they're there. Like, how did they get through? If the machine is working, like that part didn't connect for me. That didn't quite make sense. I did think the actual suspense of the mystery and thriller and stuff was interesting. I thought building that into this, like, we have this kind of other dimension situation happening, that was interesting. I do love the character of Veek, however. She is my favorite character. I was really worried that we were gonna have her die. She does not, spoiler. I do think the stakes actually weren't high enough because we did have some deaths, but it felt like as long as you're in a relationship, you're safe. Anyone who was single was not safe. Which I found very interesting because by the end of this, if you were in a relationship, you survived. So I don't know what that was. There was also, like, again, making fat people villain. So there, it's not a full villain, but making a fat person bad guy. There's no other real fat person in this. And I'm always going to be hyper aware of this stuff because I am a fat person and I see how fat people get portrayed in literature and stuff and in pop culture in general. And there is a small character that comes in during the big bad moment stuff, but there's like 3 paragraphs spent talking about her blubber and how fat she is that you couldn't zip tie her arms all the way and he had to like use a bunch of zip ties to make it work because she's just so fat. And the term blubber was used so many times in those 3 paragraphs that really set me off a little bit. So, pushing the minutia stuff aside, I'm giving this a 3.5. I liked it better than I liked Haunted Forest Tour, but it's still not, like, amazing or anything, but I did appreciate the overall plot was interesting. I do think it was too long, though. It took me to almost, like, whole I don't even know, when did I even start this yesterday, but I can't believe it's 3 o'clock now, and we still have 3 more books to read between today and tomorrow at 7. This ends at, well, it ends at 5 actually for me, because it's early. I mean, I'm gonna keep going, obviously, until I finish these 5 books, because that's what the video is, but I don't necessarily think I'm gonna be able to do it within the time frame, especially if I don't get Devolution as an audiobook. So we're down to 2 options at the moment. So we need to spin that wheel. Let's see, so the 2 options, I don't even know really about them. So we definitely have the physical read of 100 Fathoms Below, and then I have the audiobook of The Hatching, which I feel like I could get The Hatching done today because it is a shorter book. This is just under 300, but it's kind of smaller print. So we'll see. Please ignore the cookie thing, that's great. Okay, it says slasher. Neither of these books are really a slasher, but this one has, like, I think a situation where people are dying kind of one by one on this submarine. So I feel like this falls more into the slasher category than anything. I don't think The Hatching is that. So I think we're gonna go with physically reading this baby after we shower. All right, we have showered. We had a bath and we got blow dried. Now we're back in the hovel. I also wanted to make a note about 14. I did find it funny about you just can't trust uber religious people. That was one of the themes and I appreciated it. Right? Yeah? You want to go in there? You want to go eat? You want to go in? Look at that. She finally wanted to go in herself. You want a snack? Do you want a sneak snack? Is that what's going on here? Sneak snack? Yes, we wanted sneak snack. Sneak snack in our hobble cage. But we're going to start streaming as well and begin 100 Fathoms Below. I realize I didn't tell you the synopsis, so here it is really quickly. 100 Fathoms Below, the depth at which sunlight no longer penetrates the ocean. 1983. The U.S. nuclear submarine USS Roanoke embarks on a classified spy mission into Soviet waters. Their goal, to find evidence of a new, faster, and deadlier Soviet submarine that could tip the balance of the Cold War. But the Roanoke crew... Is it Roanoke? Roanoke. I forget. I know that it's Roanoke something crew. Anyway, But the Roanoke crew isn't alone. Something is on board with them, something cunning and malevolent. Trapped in enemy territory and hunted by Soviet submarines, tensions escalate and crew members turn on each other. When the lights go out and horror fills the corridors, it will take everything the crew has to survive the menace coming from outside and inside the submarine. In the dark. So, slasher, I do think we're going, I mean, I'm fairly certain this is a vampire book, but vampires can be slasher serial killers. So I think that's what's actually going down. It feels very slasher-esque in the genre itself, at least. So we're stretching it, but we're making it work. Cool, let's begin. Okay, I've literally just read the first page. Sorry, it's fuzzy, I don't know. Blah. Already, like, god damn it. He didn't see the fun in drinking until he puked. For Stubik, fun meant getting his dick wet. Oh no. Not again! Apparently 3 months away from women is intolerable to him. I already hate him. Okay, so I think, so that was just the prologue. And I think that wasn't our main character, at least. But he was a fetishizing dick, and I think he was already murdered, so that's fine then. As long as awful men like that get murdered, I'm happy. Okay, Stubik's not dead, but he's also not the main character, so at least that. But something going on with him, that's for sure. What do you think is happening? Yeah, you think that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that too. But no spoilers, don't spoil it, okay? I know you've already read this, but don't spoil it, okay? We're 6 chapters in right now. Here's the thing. The suspense is already kind of ruined because we already know right away who's doing it. We know the whodunit already. So that's kind of ruined, and also the first one down is the one of 2 black characters. Now granted, this is 1983 in the Navy, so not entirely surprising, but it is annoying that it's the first character to, like, officially probably die. I'm pretty sure he's dead. Is the one black guy, and, like, the good black guy. Well, there's the other one's good as well. It's not like, but he's characterized as to be like this absolute stand-up guy that everybody loves. So not a huge fan of that. But again, yeah, now I already know who's doing it. So I don't know how we're gonna really build suspense for the rest of the book. Okay, so not necessarily a kind of a creature that kills, but probably infects. We're not dealing with that totally, because the character I thought was dead, not dead, but probably turning into one of them. So that's the situation we're playing with. Small spoiler, I guess. But I'm literally not even 50 pages in, so I think anything in the first 50 pages isn't a spoiler. Sometimes you don't just play with the hair clips. You sit on it. What are you doing? Sitting on a hair clip. And then we play with it. You sit on it and show it who's boss. Oh, it's been a bit. I was wrong about the other thing though. Well, no, I'm not technically wrong about that now, but I was in the beginning. I do want to just put a content warning. There is homophobia in here. It's not promoting it. It is a bad character who is homophobic. But just a content warning. There is use of the F word in here. It's definitely showcasing prejudice within the Navy, which I do like. That it's showing the problems. It's not saying that these are good things, but content warning. Okay, so it's a little bit later than I would have liked, but I did finish it. 100 Fathoms Below. I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I like it a lot more than the other ones so far, and it's a fun time. Okay, it's vampires on a submarine. It's fun. I like that even though there were like problematic things in it, those were always like villainous characters who got what they deserved. So there is homophobia, there's racism, in the beginning there's the fetishization, at the epilogue there is pedophilia. Well, it's mentioned pedophilia. It's not even mentioned, it's like it's it's assumed. But you can see that these characters are villains, and it is in a bad light. So just content warning more so. I liked we had two real main characters, which is Jerry and Tim. And I liked them. I thought they were good. I liked, you know, Jerry the most because he stood up for his gay friend on another ship. And he put in a complaint to the EXO, who there was drama there. Okay, there was drama about him, and kind of put him in a bad place because people were like, you ruined this officer's career, and it's like, well, yeah, because he's a homophobic asshole, so naturally, who was also doing drugs. So yeah, his career should have been ruined. But it is set in the 80s, so you do have to I had to keep reminding myself this is the 80s, so it's not as modern. A lot of things were not as accepted as they are now, and even now there's still issues. But yeah, it was fun. Sometimes I was a little bored just because it was get too much into the submarine jargon and military jargon, because that's not my thing. I think the ending kind of dragged on a little bit longer than I would have liked. I did start to kind of fall asleep while reading the ending of it, but also it's like 1 a.m. now, so yeah. But we have finished that. That's book 3. So we have two more to do. We'll see if we can get them both done tomorrow. I don't know if we will, or if I'll finish Devolution late because it's still not dropped in Libby, and I really want to listen to the audiobook because Nathan Fillion narrates one of the characters, and Judy Greer narrates one of the characters, like a full cast on this that I discovered online. So we're at least going to read The Hatching tomorrow when we wake up. Although we will have Sammy over for a little bit, so we'll see how fast. So if I get 4 of the 5 done, that's fine. I will get Devolution done, and it will be in this vlog. It just might not be in this fort. Casper, come here. Fort dog.
Lay down. Laid up.
Oh, wait a bit. We're done being fort dog.
That tail, though.
You missed it.
Oh.
Casper. Come here, the big boy. There he is. There's my fort dog. Hello all, it is February 19th on this readathon, and we've finished the other book, one more book. So we've done 4 total. The last book that I read on audio all day today, and that was The Hatching by Ezekiel Boone, and I'm giving it 3. It might go lower stars. I was bored by it, to be honest. I mean, there's like this swarm of man-eating spiders. You think it would be much more compelling, but I did not care about any of the characters. I found them all to suck. A lot of them were like cheating or grumpy divorcees or whatever. It's just none of them were characters I gave a damn about. And so it made it super boring. I did like that the president's name was Stephanie. The president of the United States was a woman and her name is Stephanie. So that was fun. Yeah, I didn't care. I was very bored. And I know it's the beginning of a series. I'm not going to read the rest of the series. There's nothing to hold me to it. I don't care. Go spider domination. That's all I care. It's been a theme for these books of I like the villains and then the creatures way more. But I don't have any other notes because I just kind of existed while listening to it, and I didn't really take any notes or anything. I just was either rolling my eyes at yet another character cheating or sleeping with somebody, or fantasizing sleeping with something. I was like, come on, you allosexuals, get it together, okay? Man-eating spiders, get it together. Yeah, I did not get to Devolution, unfortunately. I mean, it'll be in this video. Next up will be my vlog, but it's still on hold. Who knows, but hopefully we will get it soon, and I will be able to finish this vlog. But otherwise, for The Hatching, that's my rating of it. That concludes the 72 hours in a haunted house. Obviously, I'm not in my fort, but the fort's still up. I'm watching something else right now. I was working on some more computery stuff that I didn't want to do on my laptop, so we did that over here. Want to say anything? How have you liked it? You really like the fort. I don't think you want to go back to the regular way of things because you really like it down there. And there she goes to it. That's it for now. We'll see about devolution, and then we'll do a final ranking. Hello, everybody. It is several days later after the readathon, and we are finally going to start reading devolution. It has dropped in my Libby app. I had a few other books ahead of it that I needed to finish, but we're going to read it. We're going to start it right now. I'm working, so I'm just going to continue like processing invoices and stuff, and we're going to start listening while we work, because that's how I function. So I guess I should probably tell you what it's about. I forgot how to vlog this already. As the ash and chaos from Mount Rainier's eruption swirled and finally settled, the story of the Green Loop massacre has passed unnoticed, unexamined, until now. The journals of resident Kate Holland, recovered from the town's bloody wreckage, capture a tale too harrowing and too earth-shattering in its implications to be forgotten. In these pages, Max Brooks brings Kate's extraordinary account to light for the first time, faithfully reproducing her words alongside his own extensive investigations into the massacre and the legendary beast behind it. Kate's is a tale of unexpected strength and resilience, of humanity's defiance in the face of a terrible predator's gaze, and inevitably of savagery and death. Yet it is also far more than that. Because if what Kate Holland saw in those days is real, then we must accept the impossible. We must accept that the creature known as Bigfoot walks among us, and that it is a beast of terrible strength and ferocity. Part survival narrative, part bloody horror tale, part scientific journey into the boundaries between truth and fiction. This is a Bigfoot story. Okay. All I know is Nathan Fillion is in it, and Judy Greer are narrators. So it should take just under 5 hours to fully listen to this. It is 9 hours and 50 minutes long. Let us begin. Okay, I'm not very far in, but in part of this interview portion here, the guy that's being interviewed about this eco-town that's part of where this is set, they're like, haha, suck on that, Elon Musk. And then the guy's like, no, I love Elon. And it's like, oh, 1 star already. Ooh, hello all. We are about halfway done now. Hi. With devolution. We're done with work. We've been done for a bit now. I'm only halfway done because I did have an actual work meeting, so couldn't be doing it. But we have, okay, bye. We have dismantled the fort. The fort is dismantled. I know, great tears for everyone. But last night when I spent the night in it, I was like, yeah, this is the last night of this, because everything was falling over and stuff. But we've actually also managed to redo this room a bit. For this one, I was thinking I would have to like rearrange the room entirely, and I really dreaded doing that with the bookshelves. But I ended up able to fit my dresser in my closet, and I can still open it. Like I can still, even if those doors are closed, I can still open everything. And then finally got this chair situated by moving those shelves here. I've stacked a bunch of those there. I don't like that, but that's the best option that we have right now. So, stop laying eggs. Stop it. Yeah, stop doing it. Also, does anyone have one of these? This is an air purifier. I can't get it to say anything other than this. No matter what I do. I don't know why. It constantly says that my air quality is 0. I've aired out the room. I don't know why it says my air quality is so terrible. Someone help. Somebody help. And I've read my manual. My manual tells me nothing that indicates a setting that I need to do to make sure it's actually doing its job. Like, it's obviously on and it's working, but the quality never changes no matter what. So I'm very confused by that. Right? Are you confused by that? Yeah? You good? Okay, so now I gotta figure out how to spend the rest of my evening, to be honest. I did make food. I did some grilling, indoor grilling. Because we have about 2.5 hours left, and it's 5:30 right now. And I don't have much. I've been like slowly making what I call audiobook tasks. Now I could work on the thing over here. I do need to take out the trash, but that's, you know, 2 seconds. Because one of the reasons why I needed to get this back together is I really needed the table to do the paint by numbers, which I've done this much on. So I could continue to work on that. I just don't want to. I don't know why. Like, well, actually, also, I bought these from a different place, and their printing of the numbers on here, it's illegible almost. They're so thick numbered, it's very hard to read. And also, I have a very complicated one, so maybe I should just suck it up and work on it for 2.5 hours, and then we can get back to the regular TBR, which, lo and behold, I thought I wouldn't have an audiobook for this one, but suddenly Scribd has one, so yay! Hooray! So I have less pressure of physically reading, but I still have, you know, 2/3, no, like I'm only a quarter of the way done with Don't Tell a Soul, and then I have these 3 to do before the 28th. It's the 23rd. And I know for a fact this is going to take me forever to get through, because it's a big book, it's tinier, smaller print, and it's anthology, which anthologies, they take me a while to get through because I'm not a huge fan of them. But yeah, so anyway, I think we will take out our garbage and just get a nice clean area here. And we'll start working on Paint by Numbers again and continue with Devolution. I am enjoying this. Judy Greer really makes this for me, to be honest. I think I would like this less if I wasn't listening to Judy Greer actually acting, you know, and being this character. Nathan Fillion actually hasn't been that prominent of a character in this. This is really Judy Greer. It's really her, and I love her so much. Every movie she's been in, I just love her characters that she does. So, yeah. Anyway, I am enjoying it. I do like, we do have this kind of suspense, this weird isolated town because of the eruption of Mount Rainier, which is not, it's not non-fiction. I was confusing it with another volcanoic eruption, you know, because we have plenty of those. But anyway, yeah, so it is definitely fiction, but it's kind of the what if Mount Rainier did erupt, and then having this kind of eco-town in the middle of Washington, and how they suddenly have to survive on their own, while also there's a predator, and they're trying to figure it out, while also there's like kind of tension between everyone in the town, of supplies, and one of the characters really trying to control everyone. It's very interesting, so I am enjoying this. I don't necessarily like all these characters very much, but the story itself is interesting enough that I am enjoying it more than I thought I would, based on the other books I've had to read for this challenge. So that's my halfway checkpoint. Continuing forward, working on this. So I just went and took out the trash, and then I checked my mail. I have something from Kendra Merritt. What is this? She said that she would be sending some swag. However, there's book shape in here. Ah! It's the actual book. Oh my god! I got the book! Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I'm so happy. Ah, look, oh God, it's so dark, hold on. Look at this book, guys. I'm so sad that I already filmed and edited and uploaded my review of this. So I'm putting it in this video, but, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, this is great. Like, here's one of the other things that I didn't mention in the video. Ah, she signed it, everything. One of the great things is there is like maps and things within the book. Hold on, let me find the page. So like she's got her little like log of her supplies and everything. And then like how things are going. Where's that? There's, no, wait. Map. Map. We have map generated in here. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And we've got, I think this is her logo. This is her whole, oh gosh. Sorry, I keep putting you in there. Here we go. This is the logo of Blue Fire Press, which is her press. Yeah, that's so exciting. And she signed it saying, 70, welcome to Daybreak. Would you survive? No, I likely would have died quite a lot. But yeah, look at this link wolf. Look, I love this link wolf so much. It's so cute. I love this. I love this. This is great and fantastic. I'm so happy to have an actual copy. Now it can actually sit on the shelf with all the other books that I read this month. Where did I read you? You were early in the month. So we gotta move Daughter of Smoke and Bone down here. I think I'm gonna put you, I finished you around Hellbent, maybe? God, I don't remember, but you're gonna sit there and be on the I read this year shelf. Yay! That's so exciting. Thank you, Kendra. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yay, yay. Okay, now back to Devolution. Hi all. We're reading more. Hey, Bigfoot, there's a chick. I like this. I will say there is a lot of fat shaming for one of the characters by Judy Grew's character, Kate. Not a fan of that. She was like, well, I didn't mean it that way. She does that kind of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I hate you. You're one of the mean girl kind of thing. Here's the thing. This whole vlog, right? We're all joking. It's the 72 hours in a haunted house thing, right? That's what the original vlog was. And nothing spooky happened. No, I'm no foreigner to spooky things happening. You check out my Stanley Hotel thing. I've lived in haunted houses. I'm a believer in ghosts, although I'm a skeptical believer in that things can be, you know, usually explained away, but I definitely experience things that I have yet to be able to explain, okay? But I like the idea that they exist. Here's the weird part, right? I'm over here, I'm working away on this, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and I'm like, what is that? Is that coming from the audiobook? Because it's a full cast, it's a full production, it started doing this like heart thumping thing, and I'm thinking it's that. And then I hear more talking, and I'm like, wait, hold on, I pause, and my computer is playing, all of a sudden, a Mr. Nightmare video. Now, Mr. Nightmare does these videos talking about the scary stories. He gets submissions in about these very scary situations, and I'm like, what the hell? I don't know why. I was nowhere. I was over here. Computer's over here. So that's the spookiest thing that's so far happened to me. Ghosty, if you're in here, look, I'm listening to an audiobook right now. We can watch Mr. Nightmare later, but I'm focused on getting this done first, okay? So just enjoy the audiobook with me, and then we can listen to more scary, you know, YouTube videos. But like, let me finish my book. Cool? All right, we'll see if anything else spooky happens. Okay, I think the ghost is now bothering my bird. You're just sitting here. This is not long after. And you are just screaming your head off. What? Come here. What is it? What is it? What's going on? What are you seeing? Hey, Ghosty, come on camera. Nothing's happening, honey. What? There's nothing happening. What is... What? What? What danger? What danger? What danger? Is that the danger? That's... Something is offending her right now. That's what that sound she is making. What do you need? Are you okay? Okay, 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 okay? Do you want house? What? What do you want? Are you scared? You want to go in safety? Safety. Stop bothering my bird. All right, I did it. We have finished listening to Devolution in one day. And that is the conclusion of the You Made Me Read It, Nina. 5 books. With Devolution, I ended up really liking this. I think this one is probably actually the best one I read of the 5. I'm gonna rank them as Devolution, 100 Fathoms Below, 14, The Hatching and then Haunted Forest Tour. Those two really sucked. I really didn't like those two. I thought, I just hated everything about those books, but I think I was more angry with Haunted Forest Tour. I think I had the highest expectations for Haunted Forest Tour because I went into this being like, I think I'm gonna like this one the best. Absolutely hated it. Yeah, I think so. With Devolution, it's very fun. I like the Sasquatch. I like the mystery to this. I really like the full cast audiobook. Judy Greer did amazing. It was mostly Judy Greer reading this because it's mostly Kate's journals with a few interludes, so that's why I was excited about Nathan Fillion, but he didn't really have a large role. But Judy Greer, I love it. And apparently, here's the fun fact, as I was doing my research for my spreadsheet here, Max Brooks is the son of Mel Brooks. Crazy. And apparently, I think he might have tried to sell this as a movie, because there's mentioned in the acknowledgements saying that he thankfully got to have the rights back to make it a novel. And I'm like, wait, what? So, I mean, and I think this would have been a great film. I didn't really have characters that I liked all that much. I think Kate's character is the most likable, even though she has several issues, and along with her fat shaming and just the way that she reacts, she's just a very ignorant American character. So yeah, but I did like it. I thought storytelling wise it was really good, and I think I'm say I enjoyed this one the most. And that's that. So thank you, Nina, for making me read all these horror books and totally skew my normal reading stats by predominantly making me read horror this month. I have so many more to do. But yeah, thank you. And if anyone else wants to commission me to read books, you can do so on my Ko-fi page, link down below. It's $20 for a commission. And I will read that book as soon as I'm able, and we'll vlog it. Vlog the reading process and all that jazz. This was more of an exchange issue because I made Nina read 5 contemporaries. So look forward to seeing your video on the contemporaries that I made you read. Cool. All right. This battery's gonna die. We're gonna head out. Thanks again. Hope you guys enjoyed. You made me do it. You made me read it. Volume 1. Oh, what happened to it? I had it pulled up and everything. Give me. Give me. Here we go. And hey. Hey! Hey! Stop it! Stop chewing on the wall. Stop it! I'm gonna need to drink a lot more of these energy drinks.